G'day everyone, how's it going? Coming at you from a house today that we're going to shoot, and this, as you see in the title, is going to be a BTS of this shoot. Now we're working with a developer here and we're basically going to shoot this whole property. It's literally stage 1 of stage 4 of 4 stages, so there's a massive amount of work still happening and it's going to be a challenging shoot to say the least. But we've got this room we're in right now that's been fully styled, and I'll just show you some of that room now. So yeah, we've got here table kind of set up, table arrangement. The kitchen is kind of all done, appliances all in, so that's all good. That looks great. These lights are really cool as well. I really like these kind of lights. And then, you know, this area here, we've got a bit of our gear set up here, but it's all good to go. Also, they've done upstairs in another room that's all styled. That's a living kind of space and 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So we're going to basically blitz this morning. Then we're going to go, probably before actually we do that, we're going to hit the pool and shoot that. Then we're going to blitz all this, do a little bit of the outside area here in the garden area. And yeah, basically want to take you on the journey and show you a little bit about how we do it. I'll be shooting a little bit. Mads is going to be shooting a little bit. Say hey, Mads.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and it basically, like I was just saying on my Insta stories, I'm not sure if you check those out or not, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you check it out. I was basically on the flight this morning from Melbourne to here. There's a Gold Coast client that we're working with, and basically it took me 5 hours, literally 5 hours by the time I kind of left the house to the time I rocked up to site. So a massive day ahead. We're going to be shooting from now, which is about 10 a.m. in the morning, until tonight at sunset, because we want to capture some of the property, the exteriors and stuff at sunset. Once all the workers have left and once all the cars are gone, then we can kind of get some creative shots around the property as well. So we're going to put the drone up as well. We're trying to get some long off shots of where this is situated in terms of you know, the local area and stuff like that. So, and then in the middle of the day, we're going to shoot some elements at the shopping center and stuff like that as well. So there's a massive amount to cover today. So I'm going to be vlogging as much as I can, but like I said, it's such a big amount to cover, so I'm not sure how much I'll get to show you guys, but hopefully this video turns out to be like 10 or 15 minutes and you can see some of the insights into what we do. So stay tuned. See you soon. Come see us do a video. We're just gonna moan and moan and moan about the conditions the whole time. It's gonna be awesome. We're just trying to get some shots of the pool here, and sometimes things just don't work the way you think. And we've got a really, really good opening shot and a great shot of the palm, but the detail here just isn't working. So I'm gonna give it another like 5 or 10 minutes, a few more ideas, put the 7200 on, see if I can get some close-ups, kind of detail-ish. There's a bit of muck and crap in the pool, so it's tricky. if I don't get anything now, I'm going to wait till the light softens, so maybe tonight come back and just have another go at it. So, but this is the kind of thing, we're just trial and error now. We have a storyboard, everything listed out, but it's almost like some of these detail shots we haven't planned yet until we get here. So I'm just going to work on seeing if I can get one to go. I hope a fly doesn't fly into the center. Okay, future Michael here. I'm just gonna stop this real quick and pop the camera here. So basically, the best intentions in this situation went awry. This is all the footage that we actually captured on the day. I ended up with sunburnt neck and forehead. Didn't take sunscreen with me. We didn't really get any of the shots that we kind of wanted around the pool till much later in the evening. Sometimes things just don't go to plan. Anyway, so all the best intentions to shoot a really good behind the scenes video for you guys, but I didn't really get there. So what I thought is maybe I'll just at this point come into the edit and just talk you through what shots we got and yeah, how that was. So I'll just run now through the shots and you know how we storyboarded this, how we shot this, and give you some insight and a rundown on all of that. So hopefully that will give you some good content that you can go away with and plan out a shoot like this for yourselves. So let me just jump onto the screen here and I'll pull up the storyboard and we can work through that. So here we are on the screen. Let's just jump on over to the storyboard where we can see a little bit more detail on things. So this is the storyboard I put together for this project. Basically, I went to the site and shot this, and so basically this shot was probably a stock image. I might have shot it on the day, but I think it was more cloudy on the day that we were there, so this is a stock image. And then kind of these photos were pieced together from shots I took on the day and parts of their brochure, the brochure for this development. So this client is a developer. They basically build these townhouses and I'll just full screen this. If you can hear any running in the background, that's just my son's at home at the moment. So that's all that is. And I'm also sipping coffee here, so you might be able to hear that as well. But basically here is, these shots were kind of part of their brochure as well. But what I was saying again is these guys are a developer, so they build these townhouses, and this is a block of 4 stages. The first stage here is what we shot. This is actually a drone shot that we took on the day that we went to scope the site. This is also one of our drone shots, and then this one was off Google. This shot here was from Google. These shots I took with my camera on the day. I just took the EOS R with me on the day we scouted this, and all these shots I took from there. And again, these all shots are kind of pieced together, so putting the storyboard together, some existing shots that I already had, some stock shots here just to show lifestyle elements and everything. And this is the last page here. So right when the video finished, I was talking about pool detail shots. So let's go through and see what we were able to capture of the pool detail shots. And let's go through. So you saw a couple of those already. So we went with a few of these as well. A few little shots like this, which we didn't end up using any of these. Just didn't think they really fit with the edit. You saw this shot here, which is my shot of the palm, which I liked. Then we kind of come down to some of these shots here, where we built some of these kind of just really small detail elements of the pool area. And this is where I was kind of creatively getting in a bit of a, having a bit of a trouble with this creatively, just kind of getting something that I felt worked. So we did a few of those, as you can see here, and then we ended up going away from this, shooting the rest of the house, getting some exterior shots, which ended up being in the main edit as well. These kind of exterior shots we worked on. Shots like this, kind of shots of the facade and everything like that. We also went and got the drone up, but let's come back to the pool again much later in the day and see what we ended up with. So this was kind of later in the day. This is a little bit of a tracking shot that I did just to get a bit of a bit of a flare over the edge of the pool. So this is all shot in 50 frames per second, which is really important because I slow this down then as well in the timeline. So back to the pool, and we got kind of this shot. Let's have a look here. This one. This kind of static shot was quite nice. It's in 6K, so we end up cropping out. Ended up with the lens cap in the shot, but I ended up cropping that out to use it. And so then we did this little setup here. If we just jump back to the storyboard, you can see here in the storyboard, we kind of had this stock shot here. So I'll just zoom up on that. I'll show you what I'm talking about there. This little stock shot here. So this was kind of something we wanted to do a setup for, as if someone was going swimming, that kind of thing. So we ended up with this shot here, something like this, just a little setup with a phone and some glasses. And I just did some creative shots. Again, this is all in 50 frames per second, so all be slowed down. I think I was just testing out the shot. Getting some different framings of that shot. So here's another framing of it there. And another framing of it here. So kind of getting the water to ripple in the top. I quite liked that shot because the water was rippling nicely, and slowed down to 50 frames per second. That would work quite well. So again, went through a lot of different iterations of this shot. And this one here I liked as well. So just getting kind of textures and see the clouds kind of in this phone, reflected in the phone. I like that element there. And that was just my phone I put down there as well. So just to kind of show lifestyle. And then we went to some different shots here of as well. Again, we waited for the light to drop a little more because this was nice because it had the sun reflecting and a bit of shadow here, but we wanted to soften this a bit more for the next series of shots. So we ended up coming back to the pool a little bit later on and capturing these couple of shots here by the pool edge. These kind of shots here by the pool edge, which just showed the property in that kind of end of day light almost. Now I still needed more after this. I still kind of wasn't happy. These are some of the facade shots that we ended up with. Kind of really cool facade shots. It's a little bit grey and overcasty here. Tricky to color grade this out. Obviously we're looking at the flat Blackmagic profile here, nothing on these shots yet, but a little bit tricky to grade this out. So we didn't really use much of this, but I did like, quite a number of these shots came out quite nice and showed the property off. This is a little bit out of alignment there, but we just line that up in post. But really taking you through like the creative ideas we had here. So then let's jump to the next day, because the next day shot again in the morning with this. So I'll jump to the next day and you can see what we got for the next day as well. Because I actually went back again to the pool because I still wanted to capture those shots. And this video is obviously focusing on the pool more than anything else, but just to show you kind of what it took to get those shots that we were wanting to get in and around the pool, in line with what we'd sold in terms of storyboard and concept. So next day we came back in the morning, very early on the Gold Coast. I think it was about 4:35 a.m. these shots. So this is kind of the look of it. We went in and turned all the lights on in the property, and we got this kind of look, a little bit grainy because we were pushing the camera. The Blackmagic's got the dual native ISO, so not too bad, but we were pushing the sensor a little bit. So just kind of getting these nice dusk kind of shots. And we actually ended up using these shots to fake the evening for this shoot. So for the end shots for the shoot. Back again to the pool, and this was really nice because the pool was actually still. So it was very still morning as things rose up in the sun rose. It's caught Mads in the shot there. As the sun came up, it started to look really, really nice, and the light was a lot softer. So we kind of ended up with a different shot, you know, very different, much better shot from the morning. And I think that was all the pool shots that we ended up with, and a couple little creative shots like this, just to kind of get that sun flare going over the top of the houses. So hopefully that gives you some idea of the scope of this shoot, what we're trying to achieve. And let me show you a little bit of the end product of this video, and just to take you through like where we ended up with it. And right now we're in the final review stage for this. So basically clients got the video, got this draft as per the storyboard that we've kind of mutually agreed with. They're really happy with it. They have requested changes, so there's some quite significant changes, but nothing that's going to take me too long. Maybe it'll take me 4 to 6 hours to kind of implement their changes and get them a second draft. We sort of say second draft and final, but this client's the first time we're working with them. We're really happy with them, so we're saying, hey, we'll do a second full draft, and then we want these last review to be like a finer tweaks to the color grade and things like that, so we're not getting into too many draft reviews, and we can kind of close this out, invoice for the remainder of this project. The project was about $5,000, 5,000 Aussie dollars. So that was a requirement of like basically a 2-day shoot. I traveled up to the Gold Coast, which cost about $300 or $400 to the company for me to travel up to where this particular property was. So I traveled up there. I shot for about a day and a half on this. I edited pretty solid for 2 days to get the draft where it is, and I'll probably spend another day to tweak this. So all up 5 days. And we shot the drone as well. We took the drone and shot the drone. And so this is a pretty good profit margin for us, for our company. So, but right now is like, I need to complete this, get this out and get this invoiced so we can move on with other projects. So that's kind of where this project is at right now. I'm in the middle of it. And today, the rest of today, I'm going to be finalizing this draft, second draft edit, and making these changes that have been requested. And yeah, nothing major. It's just, sometimes with video, as you know, if you're in the space or you do work with clients, you'll know that sometimes you can produce a storyboard on a mutual expectation and a mutual understanding, and it can be like, until they actually see the video, they're not actually sure how it feels or how it flows or what they really, it's hard for them to narrow it down super early on. So especially when we work with a client the first time, which is this is a new client for us, then we're pretty lenient around that, because we need to make sure that we can develop a working relationship. If they have problems, we can overcome those problems with them. So this won't get locked into like a 2 or 3 week process of review. We're going to basically get this smashed out within the next few days. So that's really positive. But sometimes things can go a lot longer if there's real expectation gap. But in this situation, it's just like we've done a proper draft and they're making some tweaks and changes. One of the major ones is there's a map of the actual area where we put like call outs and things to show where placeholders are and things like that. Actually, I can show you, let me show you that now. I'll show you that here on screen. So this is kind of the map here where we put placeholders, on this map to show where things are. So this is one big change. They wanted this map to come later in the edit because they felt like that hadn't shown enough of the property, hadn't sold the property enough before this came up. So that's where we went and put placeholders there. So, but in terms of the pool detail, which I was going to show you now, I'll just scroll through to the pool detail. I would love to play you this whole video, but I can't yet because it's not released to the client yet. So maybe I'll do a follow-up video to this and show you the full video that we ended up with, which I think is great, but at the moment I can't because it's unreleased yet. Otherwise I definitely would show you all this, but I can show you the pool detail here. Just these shots, basically that's where we landed with pool detail. So we're showing some water here, and the property, so that in vicinity to the pool, and then this pool edge here, and some of the detail here, and then we've got a stock clip of someone swimming in the water. So just to show the lifestyle elements of going for a jog in the parks nearby, and then dropping into the pool. That's all stock footage as well, because they didn't, there are no really parks around the area in close vicinity yet, so we didn't go and shoot anything. They didn't want to involve any talent either, so we can't just go and shoot random people in a park. It's got to be clearances for footage for that, so that's where we use stock footage. But anyway, hopefully this video is kind of, it's a little bit all over the place, but hopefully it shows you some insight into, you know, where I'm at with the project and how I'm running this shoot and getting the edit done and getting the client submission all sorted. And yeah, hopefully you got something out of this. If you did like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe. Any comments or questions you have around running a production business or doing a video production at this scale, and you know, some of the things, if you've got any questions at all, make sure you hit me up in the comments. I do answer 99% of the comments when I don't miss them. So I love to engage with you all. And it has been a minute since I've done a video, but it's, yeah, I'm wanting to get back into it now that things are kind of slowing down a little bit in my world after the new year and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get back to doing some much more of these and some more camera stuff as well. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.